Topic of today are yeards. So kind of interesting one. Talk about the pros and cons and all of that stuff. So stay with me. We'll be right back. All right, Brian Haywood here. Thanks, guys, for joining me on my Beards and Banjos YouTube channel. Got a lot of stuff going on. We do some reviews, but we also do just as much other special topics. We talk about whatever I want to talk about, which are last time we talked about beard butters and beard brand a little bit, some of the history there. We got this epic mustache challenge going on. We're almost through with week 3. And today we're going to do a vlog topic here to talk about yeards. I did a little research on the history and just about like many other things that you go up and look at, not just beard related, but they start to become popular and more notices, more Google hits once you get to around 2013 and 14. All right. And a couple reasons for that. One in general is just because you've got social media. So now you've got people that not only can get information from the internet, but they can also participate. They can share their own journey, their own experiences. And that became a good thing to do when you were growing out your beard for an entire year, which is what a year it is. But also during that time, you had a television show that became popular, and that was the Duck Dynasty, where the guys had big, long, kind of natural looking beards. So maybe guys started thinking, I wonder what I would look like with a big beard. So we're going to talk about some of the pros and cons, and they're kind of interesting, some of the different things. One of them is, one of the pros is it basically you get to set your goal automatically, right? I'm going for a year. I don't have to worry about a whole lot of stuff for a whole year. So you kind of set that. You get to see what you look like with that big beard. That's also a pro. It's a good way to kind of say, all right, I'm going to grow this beard. I'm going to see what it looks like at different stages. Going to see how long it gets, how full it is, where my patches are, and some of that kind of stuff. But for most people, the biggest thing is it does become a journey. You actually get to focus on yourself and lots of different perspectives from different guys. A lot of times it becomes kind of a self-reflection kind of process, a discovery kind of process. You get to learn patience. You really kind of reset your priorities. Some guys have never focused on themselves and their appearance. So as they're growing out their beard, they're learning tips and tricks and how to style it and beard products, and it becomes kind of a new hobby. There's a bearded community out there where you can be involved and participate in live streams and discussions and all of that kind of stuff. Instagram and Facebook groups and those kind of things. Okay, but there's also some cons. So one of the biggest cons for me, and two reasons that I would never consider doing a year is, one is you kind of get the unkempt look, right? You can try your best to style things down, but your beard's not going to look its best if you don't do any trimming. So I decided not to go that route. Plus, I actually enjoyed the trimming process and looking at how people shape beards. I've always thought that I would want to be a barber. I'm a math teacher, but maybe when I retire, if I still have some dexterity left in my hands in 9 years, maybe I'll look into becoming a barber, doing some beard trims and haircuts and that kind of stuff. Would be fun. But so I basically trimmed my beard 6 or 7 times over the course of a year. And it was still kind of primed for growth because I ended up with a beard down here at my collar line that I got aggravated with and made it a little bit shorter right now. The other thing is it's really not as healthy as it can be because you end up with split ends and stuff that you can't really do anything to for a whole year. So you miss out on trimming and you miss out on like different styles on the way down. Your beard doesn't look the best that it can. And it just wasn't a thing that I wanted to do. Also, you can always become obsessive. That can be a con. You can kind of obsess over your beard. You basically change your image and you become known for being the bearded guy. Right? That's something that some guys like, something that some other guys don't, because it really does draw attention to yourself. And I'm not one to draw attention to myself. So it's kind of interesting to get used to that idea. The other thing is once the year is up, some guys kind of have a phobia about trimming the beard. Don't touch my beard. I don't want to trim it. I don't want to mess it up. So it really takes them a whole nother, usually 6 months to a year to kind of find their optimum shape. You'll see that they'll like trim just a little bit off and they're like scared to death. And then 6 months later, they'll do a little better beard trim. And usually you'll end up somewhere between the 3 and 6 months shape is what they end up with, something like maybe what I have. But it takes you a whole year and a half to get to where you could have gotten in about 6 months. But it's all about the journey sometimes. You get to learn a lot of stuff along the way. So I just want to talk a little bit about that. I wanted to hear what you guys had to say. First of all, has any of you guys done a Yeard? If so, I'd love to hear some of your feedback and some of the experience that you had, what you learned from it. You don't really hear a whole lot about guys who started the Yeard and didn't finish. And I know they're out there. You can run across it every once in a while. So I wonder if anybody fell into that category. So drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts on Yeards. Also, do you think Yeards are dead? You don't see it a lot anymore. I think maybe it's run its course and they're on to other things. But, the trends come and go as far as men's grooming and facial hair and hairstyles and those kind of things. So do you think Yeards are dead? All right, so I'm be interested to hear what you guys have to say. And thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time.